Hello, my dear friends. We left off at this point in our first video. So I just did some polishing on this design. Let's see the interaction for one more time. So when we hit on play button, it should show the window. Let me share that screen with you. So we can see that this is our screen, and when we click on the other icon, it gives us nice morphing animation. But this is Adobe XD's on automatic animate feature. So now we would start working in HTML and see how we can make this similar effect. Okay, so as you can see, this is our Visual Studio code, and now we will go and make a new folder. I'll be sharing the source code at the end of the series because we are building on top of it. Okay, now so first of all, we would uh, repeat the process in first video. We would just make the structure. Now we would add styles folder, then we would add scripts folder, then we would add fonts because there is only one font that we are going to use. Now let's add the respective files as well. Style.css, script.js, and let me quickly copy and paste the font behind the scenes. Okay, so now you can see that we have this font as well. So first of all, similar to what we did in previous video, let's generate a stub. So here we will just name it SVG Morphing, and let's add our link our style sheet, and let's also link our script file. But we have to give correct path. We are giving it the correct path. Okay, now our file has been linked. Let's quickly add the markup. So based on our screen, let's let me get back to the screen. So we would make similar heading, this graphic and these buttons in our HTML. Let me get back and let's start doing that. Okay, so first of all, here we would need a span. So I will give it an ID of top heading. Write the text. Now we would add SVG. So it's very easy how to add SVG from Adobe XD. Let me quickly go back to this. Okay, so in order to add SVG, we just have to select all of these elements and just right click, and we would see an option copy SVG code. We just click on it, then we go back to our code, and here we would just paste it. So this is our SVG. And very simply, we can import our SVG here. Okay, so now we also have to add our add two buttons. So we would make those buttons. We this is button container. And then we would have button. We would give it an ID of male. We would actually give it class because they share some style. So we would call gender button gender. And first one is male. We would also give it an ID of button male because we might need it in our JavaScript later. Then we would also add another. Okay, so this one will get button female and the text will be female. Now let's start adding some styles. So first of all, similarly, we would add the font. So this is Arial rounded, and URL is font. This. Okay, now we would give generic styling for our complete HTML. Now we would give. Okay, so body would have a background color as well. We would specify this later. Body would have a display of flex and flex direction to be column, line item center, display content center. These are all correct. And the color would be default white. Yes, okay, this is good enough. And we would also give it a gap because in flex we can specify a gap. So I would give it a gap of 2 EM and font size should be default font size should be 4 EM. This one is good enough. Now we would come to our button container. We this one would have a display flex and gap of 2 pixels. Okay, just good enough. And by default, when we specify, we don't specify any flex direction. It assumes it's a row. Otherwise, we have to specify flex direction as column. So let me quickly copy and paste the colors, the background color from Adobe XD. This is our background color. And okay, so by default, uh, also we need to specify the color for male and female, but let's design first of all with their design. So button gender. Okay, so first of all, we would need its width to be 150 pixels and height to be 164 pixels. And we it would have a border radius to make it a capsule. Border radius of I think 5 pm. It's a nice trick to make them look like a capsule. This in technique, so you can utilize that. Okay, so this is done. Then also the color we would specify in the particular. We would specify that by giving it in their ID selectors. Okay, so also one more thing we would need to do is we would give it a default selected icon as well. So now we can specify their properties. Okay, so let's start by styling mail button mail. So button mail's background color should be button mail shouldn't have any background color if it's not selected, and if selected, then so let's make things a bit easier. We can give it a class here as well, mail, and this would make things easier for us. And so let's say we don't have to style it like this. Okay, now we would see button gender, then male. It would have border of 3 pixels solid, and let me copy the color from Adobe XD. This color would be for male, and if it is selected, button gender selected, then it would have a background color of same. And in this case, when it's not selected, the color of text should also be this color. I think this is good. Now we would also specify button gender female. We just have to grab the color from Adobe XD. So this color should be for this. Let's check it. Let's check our preview. And also when it's not selected, suppose the color should be, when it is selected, the color should be white. We have to specify that as well. Okay, so now it's complete. And also we need to specify the font size. So I would say 3 EM is good enough. Let's check it out. Okay, there is something wrong. Let's fix that. Okay, so there were some styling things that we have fixed. First of all, we reduced the gap to 1 EM. Then we have also reduced the font size to 2 EM. And also I have specified the relative font size in 1.25 REM. I've also specified the font family. And so one thing we were missing is that if the button is not selected, we have to also specify that there shouldn't be any background color because in button there is a default background color. Uh, Also for mail, we have done the same. Let's jump back to the browser and see if they have been fixed. Okay, so this is now currently looking like the screen that we have designed in Adobe XD. Now we would make it functional. We would make it so that if we click on this should be selected at least, and then we would start working on motion. So for this video, we would just only make the buttons functional. Then we would work on morphing in the next video. So let me get back to screen and let's make them functional a little bit. And one more thing is that we should also add cursor pointer in this button because we would want some visual indication that this button is clickable. And now we would just get to our script and write a very minimal script to just add or remove classes based on clicks. So we would just say button name is equal to document. Okay, so this is we don't need these. We only need button male and female, and we also have to attach click handlers on both items. So click on click we should add selected clause on male and remove on female. Similarly, for button female, we should do the same. So this would ensure that when we click on one of these buttons, it behaves like it's been clicked. So first of all, you can see that we have cursor pointer. Now when we click on this button, it switches here, and then we click on this button, it switches here. So in next video, we would just start working on this morphing. And before that, we also have to figure out some mathematical things. So that's why I'm splitting it in next part. So for this part, we are just established this page. We have added some styling, and now we are ready to work on morphing. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for next part.